very welcome. I hope you're okay. I hope you've had a good week. We made it through another one. So we're gonna let go of the week now and do a little bit of movement and get into our bodies. So we're gonna actually start in a kneeling pose. If kneeling doesn't feel good for you, then you can come into your Sakasana, your cross-legged seat. So just come into kneel, and I want you to place the backs of the hands on the thighs, palms face up, and just gently closing the eyes down. So just beginning to find that nice length in the spine. Notice if you're holding any tension in the shoulders, just give the shoulders a little bit of movement. Just draw some circles, or you can shake the shoulders a little bit. Just do whatever feels good for your shoulders. Tend to carry a lot of that tension there. And then when you're ready, just come in to find some stillness. Just allowing those shoulders just to release down your back. And just allowing yourself just to drop into this stillness. Becoming a little bit more present with yourself and with your breath. As you connect with your breath, just beginning to allow the belly to soften and relax. Just beginning to take some longer, deeper, more expansive breaths now. And if it feels helpful, feel free to place the hands on the belly or even the hands onto the rib cage. Helps to bring some awareness into where you're breathing into. So it feels really nice if you can just bring that awareness to the fact that you're not just breathing into the front of the body, you're breathing into the sides of the body and also the back of the body as well. Almost imagine that you're filling all the corners of the room with the breath. So just taking a few expansive breaths like this. I'm going to invite you to take 2 full inhales in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep inhale. And then just allowing your breath just to relax again. Just notice any effects of the practice. When you're ready, you're going to gently begin to blink the eyes open. Coming onto all fours and just tapping the legs out, just to, I might want to sleep a little bit then. Lovely. So you're going to come back into your child's pose now. So bring the heels back over the hips and bring the forehead down to the earth. And just come up onto the fingertips here. So you're beginning to find that nice length in the spine. You can maybe just gently rock the shoulders from side to side. And just taking a few deep breaths now into the back of the rib cage. Lovely. From here, we're going to place the hands down. As you inhale, you're going to come up into your tabletop. And we'll come into our first cow pose, releasing the belly down, drawing chin to sky. And as you exhale, drawing chin to chest, navel to spine. Just taking a couple of these just to gently warm the spine up. Moving with your own breath here. And then when you're ready, coming back into your child's pose, bringing the forehead down to the earth. So we're going to involve our cat-cow pose now with our child's pose flow. So as you inhale, you're lifting the hips, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. Once the shoulders are over the wrists, you're releasing the belly down, drawing chin to sky. As you exhale, releasing the hips back, over the heels, forehead down to the earth. As you inhale, you're lifting the hips, chin is tucked, spine is arched. Once the shoulders are over the wrists, releasing the belly down, drawing chin to sky. As you exhale, release back into your child's pose. We'll do this 2 more times. Just go into your own rhythm here, really articulating the spine. Moving with your own inhale and your own exhale. Lovely. Next inhale, we'll come up into our tabletop. We're going to continue with our cat-cow spine now, coming into our tiger curls. So you're going to exhale and just lengthen out through that left leg. So you're pushing the ball of the left foot down into the earth, getting that nice stretch, the back of that left knee. Lovely. From here, you're going to lift that left leg, bend that left knee. And we're coming back into our cat-cow spine. So we're working with our tiger curls now. So as you inhale, bringing chin to sky, pushing up through that foot, that left foot. And as you exhale, draw in chin to nose, or knee to nose, I should say. Pushing the earth away as you arch the spine into your cat spine. As you inhale, you're bringing chin and foot to sky into your cow spine. Exhaling, knee to nose, arching the spine. We'll do that one more time. Lovely. And the next inhale, we're going to stay at the top. Option to stay here. This is challenging your balance enough. Make sure you're really spreading out through those fingers. Or you can challenge your balance a little bit more by bringing that right hand onto the sacrum. Or you can take hold of the foot with the hand. If you're taking hold of the foot, making sure that you're pressing the top of the foot into the hand. So getting a nice quad stretch here, nice shoulder opener, keeping your gaze down at the earth. Keeping that connection with the breath. Lovely. As you exhale, releasing that right hand down, left knee down. Going to come into some tabletop circles now, just to release those joints. So you're hinging forward over the wrists. Lean over to the right, bringing those hips all the way back over the heels and then over to the left. And then bringing those circles in the opposite direction. Lovely. We'll come back now into our tabletop and we'll begin to lengthen out through that right leg now. Pushing the ball of that right foot down into the earth, getting that nice stretch, back of the right leg. Lovely. As you inhale, you're lifting that right leg in line with the body. Bending that right knee. Sole of the foot is pressing up towards the sky. As you inhale, you're lifting the chin and pushing up through that foot. As you exhale, drawing knee to nose as you round the spine. Inhaling, chin and foot back to sky. We're going to exhale, knee to nose. Just go into the rhythm of your own breath here again. Just articulating the spine through our cat-cow poses. Lovely. We're going to pause at the top of the next one. You have the option to stay here, or you can bring that left hand onto the sacrum now, or even take that left hand back. So if you're holding the foot, make sure you're not pulling it into the body. You're pressing the top of the foot into the hand like you would in your dancer pose, keeping that gaze down at the earth. Taking a couple of breaths here. Lovely. As you exhale, releasing that right knee down. And coming back to sit on the heels for the moment, we're going to bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, and just draw some figure eights with the wrists. Be a little tough on the wrists when we're on the tabletop a little bit too long. So bringing those figure eights in the opposite direction now, and then giving the hands a little shake. Lovely. So we're going to come back into our tabletop, making our way now into our first downward facing dog. So just taking any stretches here that feel good for you. You might want to bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg and hold it for a while. Or you might want to just walk quite quickly through the feet. So just noticing what it is that your body needs this evening. Lovely. And then when you've finished all your little stretches there, just allowing some stillness into the body. So make sure you have those feet hip distance apart, drawing those heels down to the earth. We'll take a nice deep inhale through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Lovely. We're going to bring those feet really wide now, bringing them as wide as the mat. We're going to come into our down dog twist. So you're really planting into that left hand, really important that you're spreading the hands, spreading the fingers I should say, pressing into the finger pads. Option to bring the right hand into the center of the mat. If you want to come into the full version of the pose, you're bringing that right hand onto that left shin. Your gaze is underneath that left armpit. Lovely twist for the upper back here. As you exhale, you're bringing that right hand back down onto the floor. Bringing the left fingertips into the center. Option to come into the full version of the pose, bringing that left hand onto that right shin. Bring your gaze underneath that right armpit. Taking a couple of breaths here. Lovely. Releasing that left hand down, coming back into your downward dog. Feet are hip distance apart now. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose. Lovely. Next inhale, we're lifting right foot to sky, three-legged dog. Just drawing some little circles with that right ankle. Bringing those circles in the opposite direction. And then we're going to bend that right knee and draw knee to nose, like we did in our tiger curl. So you're drawing those shoulders forward. Exhaling, three-legged dog. We're doing that 2 more times. Bend knee to nose. Shifting the shoulders forward. Exhaling to push back. One last time, we're going to hover here. We're going to step that right foot through, coming into our low lunge. We're going to inhale, fingertips to sky. And as you exhale, bringing that left hand onto the upper back. See if you can take hold of the opposite hand. If not, just taking hold of your t-shirt here. Lovely. Taking 2 deep belly breaths. Breathing down into the belly. Just stretching out those shoulders a little bit more. Lovely. As you exhale, you're going to release, fingertips to sky. And as you exhale, coming into your cactus arms this time. Drawing those shoulder blades down the back. Option to come into a little bit of a back bend here. Keeping your connection with your breath. And as you exhale, bringing the hands down to the floor. You're stepping that left foot forward. Coming into your forward fold. Nice generous bend in the knees. Keeping the hands on the floor. And you're just going to swish from one side to the other. Nice way just to release the lower back and the neck. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center now. You're going to inhale into your half lift. Hands onto the shins. Pushing out through the sit bones. As you exhale, release down into your forward fold. And as you inhale, bringing fingertips to sky. Palms of the hands together. Exhale down to heart center. Taking 2 breaths here. Really grounding down into the soles of the feet. Just acknowledging that connection with the earth. Lovely. As you inhale, you're sweeping fingertips back to sky. Exhaling down into your forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Stepping all the way back now into your downward facing dog. Taking a nice deep inhale here. Lovely. Next inhale, going to come into your high plank, shoulders over wrists. Really pushing the earth away through the palms, hips in line with the body, engage in the core. And as you exhale, all you're going to do is just release the feet over to the left side. Coming into a side plank variation, bringing right fingertips to sky, stacking that left shoulder over the right. Lovely. Exhaling to bring that right hand back down, back into your high plank. And as you exhale, just bringing the feet over to the right side this time. Left fingertips to sky. So really keeping that right shoulder nice and stable above that wrist. As you exhale, left hand down to floor. Push back into your downward facing dog. We're going to come through our slow vinyasa here. Shoulders over wrists, high plank. We're going to release the knees down, bend the elbows. Chin and chest down to the floor. Coming up into your cobra. Drawing those ears away from the shoulders. And then tucking the toes under, pushing all the way up into your downward facing dog. We're going to sweep that left foot to sky this time, bend that left knee, and draw knee to nose again, shoulders over wrists. Exhaling, three-legged dog. 2 more times, knee to nose. Exhale, three-legged dog. One last time, we're going to hover this time, and then we're going to step that left foot through. Low lunge, bringing fingertips to sky, finding that length in the side body. We're going to bend that right elbow, bend the left elbow, and see if we can take hold of the opposite hand here. If not, we'll just take hold of the t-shirt or your top. Taking 2 breaths into the belly. Lovely. We're going to release the hands. Inhale, fingertips to sky. And as you exhale, coming into your cactus arms, sliding those shoulder blades down the back. Feeling that expansion in the chest here. Lovely. As you exhale, you're bringing hands down to the earth. Stepping that right foot forward, back into your forward fold. Nice generous bend in the knees. We're going to inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring fingertips all the way to sky. Little back bend if you like. And then bringing the prayer hands down to heart center. Taking 2 breaths here. Grounding down into the soles of the feet. So we're really working with our shoulders. A little bit with our back bends this evening. Taking it nice and slow to start with. As you inhale, we're going to bring fingertips all the way to sky. Exhale, forward fold, knees bent. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step back into your downward facing dog. Option to come through your vinyasa, or you can rest in down dog or your child's pose. So don't feel like you need to do every vinyasa. Just do what feels right for you. Lovely. Next inhale now, we're going to lift that right foot to sky. Three-legged dog. We're going to bend that right knee and step that right foot through. Coming into our high lunge now. Fingertips to sky, dropping back into that left heel. Lovely. We're going to bend that left elbow, left palm onto the upper back. Bend the right elbow. See if you can take hold of the opposite hand here. Nice deep belly breaths. Lovely. You're releasing those hands now. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. Exhaling, cactus arms. From here, we're going to bring the palms of the hands together. And as you inhale, you're lifting that left knee in line with the left hip. From here, we're going to come into our dancer pose. So you're bringing the knees together, taking the hand onto the inside of the outside of that left foot. Right fingertips to sky. So a little bit like our tiger curls now, beginning to press that left foot into the hand. I'm far too close to my TV here. Lovely. We're going to inhale all the way back to center. Prayer hands to heart, lifting that knee in line with the left hip. And then we're going to bring that left ankle above that right knee. Sitting back into our half chair now. Getting a nice outer hip stretch on that left hip. Lovely. As you inhale, you're coming back to center, prayer hands, lifting that left knee. We're going to do a nice controlled step back into our high lunge. Fingertips to sky, beginning to hinge at the hips. Drawing that left foot back. Left heel remains lifted. Nice deep belly breath. From here we're going to open out into our warrior two. Keeping those arms in line with the shoulders, palms face down. Lovely. We're going to bring that right palm to sky now. Straighten that right leg. Reverse Trikonasana. Nice side body stretch. As you exhale, reaching forward. Bringing the back of that right hand onto the inside of the right shin, left fingertips to sky. Bring your gaze, that left thumb, if your neck is okay. Lovely. We're going to inhale all the way back to center, back into our warrior two here. We're going to inhale right fingertips to sky, come into our reverse warrior. And from here, we're going to bend that right elbow, place that right hand onto the upper back. And you're taking hold of the opposite hand again here. We'll take 2 deep belly breaths. going to release the hands now. Come back into your warrior two. You're going to windmill the hands down to the floor. Step all the way back into your down dog. Option to come through your vinyasa, or you can rest in your child's pose or downward facing dog. So just taking whichever option feels right for you. 2 breaths now in your down dog or your child's pose. Lovely. We're coming into another side plank variation now. We're going to inhale forward into our high plank, keeping those shoulders over the wrists. And then we're going to exhale back into our downward facing dog. We're lifting that right foot to sky. And we're going to bend that right knee and take that right knee in towards the nose. And then we're going to cross that right leg over the left. Fancy footwork now. We're going to turn that left foot all the way down onto the floor. So the outside edge of that foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Lifting that right hip away from the mat. As you exhale, you're bringing that left hand down to the floor. You're pivoting now onto the outside edge of that left foot. Bringing that right foot behind. So don't worry if you don't get it first time. We'll be doing this a couple of times this evening. Fancy footwork. Lifting that left hip away from the earth. Lovely. Bringing that right hand down to the floor. Coming all the way back into your downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here, either in your down dog or your child's pose. And then we'll do that sequence on the other side. Lovely. This time we're going to inhale that left foot to sky. 3-legged dog. Bend that left knee and step that left foot forward. Coming into our high lunge on the other side now. Fingertips to sky. Really dropping back into that back heel. Lovely. As you exhale, you're bending that right elbow, right hand onto the upper back. Seeing if you can take hold of the opposite hand here. 2 deep belly breaths. Lovely. Releasing hands, we're going to inhale, fingertips to sky. Exhale down into your cactus arms. Bringing the palms of the hands together at heart center. And as we inhale, we step into the front of our mat. Right knee in line with right hip. Preparing to come into your dancer pose now on the other side. Taking hold of the inside or outside of that right foot. I find it really helps if I bring both knees together here. Lovely. As you exhale, all you're doing is pressing the top of that foot into the hand. Coming into your dancer pose. That left arm is your counterbalance. Nice quad stretch, shoulder opening pose. Coming all the way back to center now. Right knee in line with the right hip. We're bringing that right ankle to rest over above the left knee. Inhale, fingertips to sky. You're sitting back into your half chair. And a nice hip opener now on that right hip. Finding your drishti, helping you with your balance. As you inhale, palms of the hands come back to heart center. Right knee in line with right hip. Ready for our controlled step back now. Beginning to hinge at the hips. Stepping that right foot all the way back. Taking that breath into the belly as we open out into our warrior two. So we're dropping that back foot down. Nice deep bend in that left knee. Lovely. Bringing that left palm to sky now. We're coming into our reverse Trikonasana. And as we exhale, we're reaching out forward. Bringing the back of that left hand onto the inside of the left shin. Trikonasana. Bring your gaze up to that right thumb. Lovely. Inhaling all the way back to center. Nice deep bend in that left knee. We're bringing that left palm to sky, reverse warrior. And then we're bending that left elbow, placing that left palm on the upper back. See if you can take hold of the opposite hand. So keeping that nice deep bend in the left knee. Tearing the mat apart with both feet. So you're pushing the feet away from each other. Nice deep belly breath here. Lovely. As you exhale, you're going to bring the hands down to the earth. Step that right foot forward. Coming into your forward fold. Nice deep bend in the knees. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling to sweep fingertips to sky. Palms of the hands together. Exhale down to heart center. Taking 2 breaths here. Connecting your awareness down into the soles of your feet. Lovely. From here now, just bringing the arms behind the back, making sure that the feet are more than hip distance apart, interlacing the fingers, and you're drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. Nice generous bend in the knees, and as you exhale, beginning to hinge at the hips. Just bringing that gaze back between the knees now, allowing the hands to come up towards the sky. So a nice shoulder opening pose. Make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck here. Lovely. Next inhale, coming all the way up to center. Taking a couple of breaths when you get to the top, just releasing the hands, coming into Tadasana, your mountain pose. Just bringing those feet now so that they're hip distance apart. We're going to inhale, fingertips to sky. Exhale, forward fold, knees bent. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. It's up to you if you want to jump back into your plank or to step back. So keeping those hips in line with the body, and then coming through your vinyasa here. Option to come into your upward facing dog is an alternative to your cobra by pressing into the tops of the feet, releasing the thighs. And then pressing back into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Feeling free to come down into your child's pose if you want to take a little bit of a rest. Using this time just to reconnect with yourself. Slowing the breath down. Noticing how your body's responding to the practice. Lovely. Well done, guys. You're doing really well. We're almost there. So we're going to meet back in our downward facing dog now. With that side plank sequence that we did on the other side now. Okay, so we're going to inhale that left foot to sky. We're bending that left knee, drawing knee to nose. And then we're going to cross that left leg over the right. So we're pivoting down that right foot so that the outside edge of that right foot's parallel to the back of the mat, bringing right fingertips to sky. Side plank variation. As you exhale, bringing that right hand down. You're taking that left foot now behind that right leg. So you're on the outside edge now of that right foot. It might be difficult for you to see, I'm not sure. Lovely. So taking it nice and slow. And then we're bringing that left hand down, coming all the way back into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Lovely. So we're going to do that same sequence again on each side. I'm just going to add a little bit to the end of it. Okay, so we'll move a little bit more fluidly with it now. Just moving with your own breath. So try and get out of the head and into the body. Lovely. As you inhale, we're bringing right foot to sky. Bending right knee, stepping right foot through. High lunge, fingertips to sky. Lovely. As you exhale, you're bending that left elbow. Taking hold of the opposite hand here. Deep belly breaths. Lovely. Releasing the hands as you bring fingertips to sky. Exhale, cactus arms. Bringing the palms of the hands together. You're going to inhale to step and lift that left knee in line with the left hip. Bringing the knees together as we come into our dancer pose. Right fingertips to sky, knees together. As you exhale, pushing the top of that left foot into the hand. Dancer pose. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center. Prayer hands to heart, lifting that left knee in line with the left hip. Left ankle comes above that right knee. Sitting back into our half chair. Lovely. Inhaling, prayer hands to heart center. With that nice controlled step back. Hinging at the hips. Stepping that left foot back, high lunge. As you exhale, we're opening to our warrior two. Right palm to sky, straighten right leg, reverse Trikonasana. And as we exhale, reaching forward into our Trikonasana. Lovely. Inhaling all the way back up. Warrior two, right palm to sky, reverse warrior. Bending that right elbow, right palm onto the upper back. Taking hold of the opposite hand here. Lovely. From here, we're going to straighten that right leg. Pivot on that right heel. So you're coming to center now. We're going to release the arms down. And just point the feet out, the toes out to the corners of the room. Hands on hips, we're coming into our goddess pose. So beginning to bend the knees now. Going to bring the hands onto the upper thighs. So just have the fingers pointing down onto the insides of the thighs here. Seeing if you can press that weight back into the heels. Taking a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, seeing if you can bring that right shoulder forward. So you're really pressing into that right hand, getting a nice spinal twist here. Coming all the way back to center. And on the exhale, drawing that left shoulder forward. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center. As you inhale, just beginning to push into the soles of the feet. Inhale, fingertips to sky. And as you exhale, bringing your prayer hands down to heart center. I'm going to open up into our cactus arms. Taking 2 breaths here. Lovely. Inhaling to come all the way back up. And exhaling, prayer hands down to heart center. Taking a breath here. Really grounding through the soles of the feet. Lovely. Turning that right foot out now. We're coming back into our warrior two. We're going to windmill the hands down to the floor. Step back into your downward facing dog. We're going to come straight into our side plank sequence. So inhale, right foot to sky. Bend the right knee, knee to nose. You're crossing that right leg over the left. Pivoting that left foot down, left fingertips to sky. Lovely. Exhale that left hand down. Pivoting now over onto the outside edge of that left foot. Right foot becomes behind the left. Right fingertips to sky. Well done. Bringing that right hand down onto the floor. Pressing back into your down dog. Option to come into your vinyasa or to take a rest. Just doing whatever feels good for you. Once you're back in your down dog, taking a few breaths here or feeling free to come down into your child's pose. Just taking whichever option feels good for you. Main thing is having that time to slow the breath down, coming back to your center. Taking some nice, deep, expansive breaths. Lovely. When you're ready, we're going to meet back in our downward facing dog. We're doing that sequence one last time now on the other side. So we're nearly there, guys. Well done. We're going to inhale that left foot to sky. Bend that left knee and step that left foot through. High lunge. Bringing fingertips to the sky. We're going to bend that right elbow. Taking hold of the opposite hand here. Taking that breath down to the belly. Lovely. Releasing the hands. We're inhaling fingertips to sky. Exhaling cactus arms. Bringing the palms of the hands together. We're going to inhale to lift that right knee in line with the right hip. Bringing the knees together now. Preparing for our dancer pose. Left fingertips to sky. Knees together. Beginning to press the top of that hand in, top of the foot into the hand, I should say. Dancer pose. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center, lifting that right knee, in line with the right hip. We're going to bring that right ankle now onto that left knee, sitting back into our half chair. Maybe stretching out that right outer hip. Inhale, prayer hands back to heart. Lovely. What do we do from here? I've forgotten. Oh yes, beginning to hinge at the hips. Bringing that right foot all the way back. A nice controlled step back. There we go. As you exhale, we're going to open out into our warrior two, palms face down. Really being strong in the legs here. Left hand to sky, reverse Trikonasana. Both legs are straight. Keeping that nice side body stretch. We're going to keep both legs straight. Reaching out forward now into our Trikonasana. Right fingertips to sky. Lovely. Inhaling all the way back to center. Nice deep bend in that left knee. Warrior two. Bringing left palm to sky now. Reverse warrior. Bending that left elbow. Left palm onto upper back. Bending the right elbow. Taking hold of the opposite hand. Nice and strong in the legs here. Deep belly breaths. Lovely. We're going to release. No, we're not. We're going to keep hold of the hands. And we're going to straighten that left leg. Pivot on that left heel. And then we're going to release the hands down. Lovely. So preparing for our goddess sequence. So toes pointed out towards the edges of the mat here. Hands on hips. We're going to exhale to bend the knees. And then bringing the hands onto the thighs here. So the fingers are curled around on the insides of the thighs. Lovely. Taking a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, bringing that left shoulder forward. Lovely. Coming all the way back to center. And then exhaling to release that right shoulder forward. Lovely. All the way back to center. We're going to inhale to push all the way up. Straight legs. Bringing hands together into prayer. And as you exhale, we're bending the knees. Bringing our prayer hands to heart center. Opening up into our cactus arms. Index finger and thumb together, if you like, into chin mudra. Lovely. Bringing the hands together. We're going to push all the way up. Nice straight legs. And as you exhale, releasing the arms. Bending that left knee back into our warrior two. Windmilling the hands down to the floor. Back into your down dog here. Option to come through your final vinyasa now, or just to rest. Just taking any last movements that feel good for your body in your down dog. And when you're ready, you're going to release down onto your front body now. So just coming into Crocodile Pose to start with, bringing the palms of the hands on top of each other and just resting the forehead on the back of the hands. Just coming into this nice neutral pose. And we'll take a few restful breaths here. Slowing down our practice now. And slowing down the breath. You're ready, just beginning to lift the forehead and bringing the arms alongside the body, palms face down. We're going to come into Salabhasana, Locust Pose. So I want you to keep the chin on the floor, bring the big toes together, and all we're going to do is lift the upper body. So keep the feet grounded onto the floor, so pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. As you inhale, you're pushing into the hands, top to the feet, and just lifting the upper chest here, keeping your gaze ahead. Option to stay here, or you can lift the feet. See if it feels nice to have the feet apart or the big toes together. If you want to come a little bit further, then just lifting the hands off the mat. You can even bring the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Staying here for a couple of breaths. A nice pose to strengthen the back body. And we're opening those shoulders. Lovely. On the exhale, releasing the feet down, releasing the upper chest, and just bringing the backs of the hands to rest on the ground. Allow the shoulders to roll away to the sides. Either coming to rest on one cheek or on the forehead or the chin. Taking a couple of restful breaths here. I'm going to do one final back bend at bow pose. Dhanurasana. So if you feel you've done enough back bending today, don't feel like you need to come into it. You can just come straight into your child's pose. If you're coming with me with bow pose, we're going to bend those knees. Make sure the knees are a little wider than hip distance apart. Coming up onto the chin. I'm going to take hold of either the ankles or the tops of the feet. And before you lift the legs, you're just going to lift the upper chest, like we're going to be in our locust pose here. So you're drawing those shoulder blades towards each other. And that nice sense of opening the chest. And when you're ready, beginning to push the tops of the feet into the hands, like you did with your tiger curls and your dancer pose. Nice quad stretch here. Nice shoulder opening pose. Staying here for a couple of breaths. You'll notice the body sways a little bit as it moves on the inhale and the exhale. When you're ready, releasing the knees down, the chin onto the floor, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing back into your child's pose now. A nice counter pose for those back bends, bringing the forehead onto the earth and bringing the arms alongside the body. We'll stay here for a few breaths, just allowing yourself just to rest now. Just taking 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, just beginning to lift the forehead, coming back to sit on the heels. Slowly making your way down now onto your back body. Keeping the knees bent, we're going to come into a really quick twist just to help with all those back bends. So bringing the arms out at shoulder height, palms face up. Big toes together, knees together as you inhale the knees into the chest. And as you exhale, bring the knees over to the right side. And bring your gaze back to that left hand. Just allowing the whole of your body just to release and let go. Next inhale, just drawing the knees all the way back to center, taking a moment to pause here in your neutral pose. And as you exhale, releasing the knees over to the left side this time, bring your gaze over towards that right hand. Just allowing the whole of your body just to completely surrender. Next inhale, coming all the way back to your center, releasing the soles of the feet down onto the floor, lengthening out through the legs now, getting yourselves nice and comfy for your final relaxation pose of Shavasana. Just allowing the feet to be quite wide. You can rest the hands either on the belly or on the floor. So it's taking these last few moments just to come into a deep state of relaxation. Slowly beginning to bring your awareness now back to the space. Beginning to invite some gentle movements back into the body. Taking any stretches that feel good. And when you're ready, in your own time, slowly making your way back to a seated position. We'll bring prayer hands to heart center. Taking 3 inhales through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Nice deep inhale. Nice deep inhale. And one last inhale. Taking a moment to be grateful for your yoga practice, all that you've gained from it. Namaste. Thanks guys, well done. I'm feeling a little bit sweaty after that one. I need to start turning the heat down when I'm doing that class. Hope you enjoyed, well done. Really nice to feel all that opening in the chest and the back body. I love shoulder openers and back bends, so I hope you enjoyed it too. Enjoy your weekend and I will see you again soon. Thank you, bye.